Nick, as I've learned to call him, has consulted across the nation and the world by legislators, attorneys, and parliamentarians on issues of abortion, health care, rights of conscience, human cloning, embryonic stem cell research, and physician-assisted suicide. He received his Juris Doctorate magna cum laude in 1986 from Arizona State University College of Law. Again, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nikolas Nikas.
The Lord is kind and merciful. I just wanted to, ever since the responsorial psalm, it's been ringing in my heart, and I thought, if I said nothing else, why do we remember our brothers and sisters destroyed by abortion? Because we need to tell the world and ourselves the truth that the Lord is kind and merciful. And Rachel, you did a beautiful job, and I was thinking that if you sang outside of an abortion facility, that some women would hear the beauty of that worship to the Lord and make the right choice. It was so profound. So I will say a few more words because I'm a lawyer, but I won't say many more. So thank you for that. It was beautiful. First, they ignore you. Then they mock you. Then they fight you. And then you win. So said Mahatma Gandhi when he was fighting the injustice and seeking independence of India from the UK. First, they ignore you. Then they mock you. Then they fight you. And then you win. And in this honoring of the tens of millions of unborn children, I would say that we are between the fighting and the winning. They don't ignore us, and while they continue to mock us, it bounces off. Now they have to take us seriously and fight us in all the different realms. And I know that we will win, either in this world or certainly in the next. It's great to come to Our Lady of Mount Carmel. When I first came to Arizona 34 years ago, this was my home parish for 10 years. And I know a lot of you, and it's humbling for me to speak to you because I know your faith, I know your commitment. You wouldn't be here for this Mass on a Saturday if you didn't already do much more. So Dorinda and I are humbled to speak to you because anything I know, I've learned from the people sitting in these pews. And I really mean that. Since it's a long day, and I'm the last speaker, I will make this short. I just want to say two quick stories, one from general church history, one from American history, and then an exhortation. In the year 711, a giant army moved across North Africa, across the Straits of Gibraltar, and went into what was then Christian Spain, run by the Visigoths, the barbarians who had been converted and were building a Christian civilization in the Iberian Peninsula. Within very short order, after the year 711, almost all of Spain was conquered by this invading Muslim army. And Christian Spain was subjected, it was destroyed. And the only part of Spain that was never conquered was this small little area in northern Spain. And the village that is identified with this is a little village called Covadonga. And if you go to Covadonga, there is a shrine, Our Lady of Covadonga. And it is from that spot, over 750 years, did the Christian reconquest of Spain take place. Imagine 750 years of fighting to reestablish Christian civilization. The story from American history I want to tell you about, because again, you wouldn't be here. I don't need to tell you about fighting for the Lord or the truth about abortion or any of these other issues. I just want to really encourage you that the virtue besides faith, hope, and love, theological virtues, the virtue that we most need is the virtue of fortitude, just to continue to fight. So here's the example, because people say, well, it's nice that we do these memorials. It's nice that we do what we do, but 50 million plus dead. How do you keep doing this? So I want to encourage you with this story from American history. The first slave came to the New World in 1619. Now imagine if you were a Christian and you thought this was an evil, a moral evil, and you saw it come, continue, and then you died, and then your children saw it, and they died, and your grandchildren saw the evil, and they died, and generation after generation after generation. It was 246 years from the first slave coming to the New World until the end of the Civil War, excuse me, and the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. 246 years. In our fight against abortion and the other evils, we're in year almost 42. A horrible, horrible number of years, but not 246. From the end of the Civil War to the Civil Rights Amendment was 99 years. We're in year almost 42. In 1896, the Supreme Court issued a decision called Plessy versus Ferguson, where they said separate but equal facilities was constitutional. You could have the black water fountain and the white water fountain, the black school and the white school, the black bus and the white bus. It took 58 years until 1954 in Brown versus Board of Education to reverse that. We're in year 42. The point to remember is that in civil rights issues like we're fighting, in a democracy where public opinion cannot be forced at the point of a gun, it takes time. It takes time. But we will win if we don't give up. And the virtue I will leave you with is fortitude. And my favorite passage in the Old Testament is Isaiah 6. And Isaiah sees a vision of heaven, the angels going up and down. And he's overwhelmed with that power and that vision. And he says, oh my gosh, I am a man of sinful lips. And at that point, an angel grabs a burning coal and touches it to his lips, and he's cured of his kind of cleansed of his sin. Think of it as early confession. And then he hears the voice of the Lord say, who should we send? Who will go for us? And Isaiah stands up, like all of you have stood up, like all of us, all of our children and grandchildren, for ages until either the Lord comes or we win. He stood up, we stand up and say, here I am, Lord, send me. And that is my prayer for all of us. We will never lose if we show up. And that's all the Lord calls us to do. It's His to save the world. Ours is to be faithful. Thank you. I look out and I see all of you faithful people, and I'm humbled and overwhelmed. Teach your children and your grandchildren to fight for the Lord and the truth and the justice of this cause, and we will win, either now or in heaven. God bless you.